as was promised in my last video, March 7th came and went. And yes, we do have some updates about Japan opening. They ain't looking good, kids. This week on news and things. Dogecoin to moon, but why? Japan no open, my wallet furious, so much money sitting inside. This question and more answered at 5 by our multiracial staff of correspondents. Hey, I'm gonna remind you also at the end, so you should stay at the end, but this is my last Wednesday video before the St. Chatties stream, so if you guys want to know, hey, what's up with St. Chatties? It is the greatest holiday you've never heard about. Wait till the end of the video, you'll hear all about it. Alright, now we can talk Japan, and I can get rid of these papers. So, we ended last month's video talking about when is Japan gonna open up for tourism. They had a little bit of an opening up in December, then they encountered a little bit of a spike in numbers, there was a new strain, panic ensues, and they closed down in January, which extended to February, which is where we left you off last, and that extended to March 7th. It is currently March 10 at the start of this video, which means this video is up to date only till March 10th. I can't promise I could see the future. If I did, I would not be doing news about Japan opening up. But we're still asking ourselves, when will Japan open up for tourism? In fact, I ask myself that every single day. Well, there was some news floating around, obviously in December. It's a bit old now that Japan was considering opening up in as early as spring 2021. Well, this is spring, and just so you guys know, those were all made in December before the second shutdown. That news is completely out of date. There is no talks anywhere that I can find right now of them opening up in spring. Pretty much everywhere that you can find anyone talking officially, the struggle seems to be the summer. And the reason is, if they can even open in the summer, would be because of the Olympics. Now this shouldn't surprise anybody, right? The Olympics cost trillion of yen, with more than 60% of that supposedly to be paid back by ticket sales. So if Japan was to open up by the summer, which seems to be what the government is considering at this point, the question is, will it be before or after the Olympics? And the news doesn't look good. I have 5 sources that are all independently verified, good cited sources, both in English and in the original Japanese that I've left below. You can do your own research. You don't need me to speak for you. But I pulled up a couple here that I would like to show you guys, just so we can go over the details as it is up to date today, March 10th. I'm going to stick to the English ones here just because I assume most of you, if you're listening to my voice, speak English to some extent. If you want the Japanese, I'll leave it down below. But from the AP, fans from abroad unlikely for postponed Tokyo Olympics. If you guys don't know this girl, she is the mayor, the governor? Oh, I can't remember. Of Tokyo, and also a member of a relatively new political party. The new president of the Tokyo Olympic Organizing Committee stopped short of saying there would be no foreign fans at this year's games, but she certainly hinted at it Wednesday after online talks with IOC President Thomas Bach, I think it's Bach, and others. The Japanese newspaper Mainichi reported Wednesday that the decision had already been made to exclude foreign fans. I have that source down below. The AP sucks at actually citing these sources, so I do have that source in the original Japanese down below. It cited only an unnamed government source, government person, involved in the discussions, which is true. Now, mind you, this was about a week old, right? I got this right when it came out. If you guys want to be kept up to date, I have a Discord that I do post all of the brand new updates about this that I can there. This came out March 3rd. Now, this was basically talking about, it said at the upper levels that it's basically just not going to happen. I'll leave the rest of this. It goes really into the finances of the Olympics, and it's really interesting. It basically shows that Japan has an unbelievable vested interest in having foreign fans there. So the reason I bring this up, and you go, what does that have to do with the Olympics? I don't even want to go in the Olympics, Chad. I just want to go whenever I can. The reason I'm saying this and how this affects you, whether you go to the Olympics or not, Japan has billions, I think trillions of yen invested into this, and billions of it are supposed to be made back by tickets. If they're not even willing to let that happen, they're not willing to bring in, 90 billion or more because of ticket sales, the odds of them just letting random foreigners into their country while they're forfeiting all this Olympic money is slim to none, right? Money talks, BS walks, as they say. So we follow the money, and it certainly is not looking good. Now, that's obviously a lot of speculation. I understand when it came out, who knows what that means. I read the original Japanese myself, and it was exactly what this says. But we got an update. Over to Kyoto News. Japan to stage Tokyo Olympics without overseas spectators. This came out yesterday. For anyone unfamiliar with Kyoto News, it's reliable. It's on a gossip mag. This is not speculation. This is just a regular newspaper in Japan. The Japanese government has decided to exclude overseas spectators from attending the summer's Tokyo Olympic and Paralympics as part of efforts to prevent the spread of the novel coronavirus, officials with knowledge of the matter said Tuesday. This is yesterday. The government and the Japanese Organizing Committee of the Summer Games are expected to hold a remote meeting with the International Olympic Committee and 2 other bodies possibly next week to make a formal decision on the issue of overseas visitors. Now, that doesn't mean they'll announce it. It seems sometime next week. It is possible that they'll have this meeting. They will announce publicly at the end of this month, so the end of March, officially whether they will or not. They had the vaccine ship out. The first round already went out. They have done everything that they possibly can. In fact, the skyrocketing price of the Olympics shows how much infrastructure they put in to keep people safe for the Olympics, and it even doesn't seem like that was enough. And then 90 billion in ticket sales apparently is not enough either. All of that is to say that they're not letting people in for the Olympics this summer. Y'all aren't getting in this summer. I'm not getting in this summer. Especially since the Paralympics, I believe goes, so the Olympics are due to take place in July to August, and the Paralympics end in September. And if they're not even considering letting people in for that in September, the odds of them letting you in by September 5th on a tourism visa in general, probably slim to none. If they're willing to just burn 90 billion, or however much percentage of that is the actual number, I don't think you and I have a lot of hope. Let's keep reading. The government has concluded that welcoming fans from abroad is not even possible given concerns among the Japanese public over the coronavirus and the fact that more contagious variants have been detected in many countries, according to the officials. Japan continues to halt new entries of foreign nationals in principle, as it is taking more time than initially expected for the government to stem the number of infections since early January. That was when they did that second shutdown, because it kind of went a little off the rails. So this is where we're getting the deadlines from. On March 3rd, the representatives of the 5 organizing bodies agreed to make a decision on overseas spectators by the end of this month. So that's going to be the end of March. We'll know definitively, we'll have it stamped, what the plan is. And then in April, they'll make a call on the number of spectators allowed to be in the venues based on Japanese restrictions on attendance at large events. So that means they're probably not even going to let many native Japanese people get in, people that are already in the country. So this does not look good for us. This is the numbers, by the way, that I was quoting earlier. While the 1-year postponement of the games has caused the cost to balloon to at least 1.6 trillion yen, $15 billion. Organizing committee was expected to make 90 billion, more than 50% of that back from ticket sales. Now, obviously, Japanese people to some extent will be allowed in, but it seems like the bulk of that, let alone with foreign visitors, is just going to be lit on fire. And if they're willing to light 90 billion yen on fire, the odds of us just being able to walk around Japan, Olympics or not, in my opinion, is slim to none. Now I do have, it's not all doom and gloom, right? I do have this one last source, Yahoo News. Yahoo's used a lot in Japan. They have a lot of correspondents there that do a good job. I don't normally trust them for most things, but usually with Japanese news, they're pretty good. It does extend its state of emergency, but it's not nationwide. It seems to be in the Tokyo area, which makes sense, as well as Saitama, Chiba, and Kanagawa. Those are all major cities kind of sprawled around Tokyo. Again, makes sense, but most of the other areas, at least from what I can find, both in English and Japanese, seem to not be in the state of emergency anymore. We do have the Pfizer vaccines rolling out in Japan the end of February into early March now, so we're going to start seeing second doses come out, and then hopefully we'll start to see a decrease finally in numbers. It does seem like we're starting to get a wrangle on it, but if you guys are trying to go in the spring, I'm going to say it's, from everything that I've read from my experience, being in Japan every single year since I was 19, be it in school, with work, or being a tourist myself, I do not see any instance of you getting in the spring, and I frankly would put 9 to 1 odds that you're not getting in the summer either. It seems like fall is the time to book, if that's even a potential option, right? Fall, and obviously September's a little early. I would even say mid to late fall when we'd be let in. But hey, this is just me. I'm just some kid who goes to Japan on business. I've gone to school there, I've lived there, I've worked there, I've loved there, and I've eaten well. And I miss it. In fact, the only year since I was 19 I haven't been allowed in was last year, and I had tickets booked. So I'm with you guys on the disappointment, but I'm just trying to keep you updated. If you know anything, this is only up to date on March 10th, so hey, if something else comes out and you guys know about it, please link the story down below for people looking. If you're also trying to keep up to date with this, you can subscribe to my channel. Be sure to like this video or save it somewhere, and you can check out the comments for this one or my previous video on when Japan is opening up to kind of get a whole history of what's going on. And so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it was helpful for you. I will keep making updates as we get official statements coming out on when we can be allowed in. So if any of that sounds good, consider subscribing down below. If you like this video, be sure to like it down below. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or compliments, please leave them in the comment box down below. I do personally read all of them. Hey, if you guys are free next Wednesday, I'm having a live stream where you can shock me, shoot me with paintballs, do whatever it is that you want to do with me. I am your rag doll. All in good fun. Obviously, it's kind of like those carnival games where you can throw the ball and the person drops in the water. No one gets hurt. But it's in order to keep up the production value, to keep making videos for you guys, and to buy equipment that we desperately need to keep improving this channel. So please go check out St. Chatty's Day, twitch.tv/Chad Zimmerman next Wednesday. I'll post a reminder that day. You can check out my books on Amazon, my Patreon and Manga Club members. Thank you so much for supporting everything that I do. Now I'm gonna go edit this video while it continues to snow 2 feet on me. Love hard, love deep, and I'll see you all next week. Bye-bye. Will anyone stay for the post-credit news? Apparently you did. Hey, thank you so much for staying. This is the subscriber-only outro. If you're subscribed, you get a bonus outro just for you because you're super cool and I appreciate you. We're having a special thing this whole St. Chatty season leading up to next week where I tell you one little bit about what we're doing and the final Wednesday secret that we're giving away before you guys can check it out yourself. We have a semi-professional furry erotica artist who has been hired to paint a fursona of me with real paint and easels, like real art. And for the high bidder of that segment, whoever it is, will end up getting that shipped to you free of charge. All the money again goes to supporting what I do, buying lights, upgrading the cameras, sound, everything beautiful. So please consider coming to St. Chatty's. Come buy my fursona oil painting. And I will see you all next week. Bye-bye.